So we will complete the task 1 first. So the first task is deploy a virtual machine, Windows Server 2016 data center into the availability set. Let's create a resource, Windows Server, and then you will choose a small disk, Windows Server 2016. So log in into the portal, go to create a resource. Then you have to find Windows Server. So in this pane, you will have to check it out. Here you will be able to browse Windows Server 2016. Small disk data center it is. So select that and click on create. As you select that, I will have to choose the right subscription. As I have not created any resource group, I need to create one. So my resource group name according to the guide is this. Click on OK. Name of the VM is this. I'm choosing it East US. Availability options, I will choose availability set. As I don't have any, I will create a new name. So the name of the availability set is this, and I'm choosing it into 2 fault domains and 5 update domains. Click on OK. So that name is appeared here. Now we'll move to disk. We will choose standard HDD and go to networking tab. Here you will be choosing the name of the network. So I need to choose the correct network here, 10.103.0.0/16, and subnet would be subnet 0, and IP address will be 10.103.0.0/24. That's it. Click on OK. So now go to management tab. I'm not choosing any further options. I'm allowing RDP console here. Next. So enable basic plan, boot diagnostic off. Go to next. Next. Review. It will take some time to review all the options which you have chosen. So if anything failed, then there is some option which I have not filled up. So you have to go to basic again. You can see there is a red dot here. So you just click on basics, and here you will get to know, oh, you did have selected the username. So I'm just choosing. It's up to you that what exact you want to choose, because this one will, every time you need to put up when you try to log in into the systems. So that's perfectly fine. And size of the VM, you have to choose it from here. So standard DS2V2, DS2V2. So this one is the size. Click on OK. And this size varies based on the location where you are creating the server. So I was creating here, maybe that this setup you will get in different model in any other region. So let's go and click on review plus create. Yep, validation passed. So click on create. So my VM creation start process has started. So it will take some time to finish this job. So initializing the deployment. So I have completed the task 1. So now we can start the task 2. So in the task 2, we will be creating the virtual machine through the PowerShell. In that case, you need to go to the PowerShell Cloud Shell. I can go it from here, or I can just open shell.azure.com. Let's go to this and click on Cloud Shell. So I will be choosing this new subscription and it will create a new storage account. So my Azure PowerShell is initializing, and by the time my first VM is also getting created, that VM0. We will create a new VM in this location via PowerShell. So we'll see how we can create it. So here we are. So let's first fix the variables. So the virtual machine name is this, and virtual machine size. You have to check it first that this size is available in that region or not. Then we will define the resource group. Then we will set the availability set. After that, we will configure the VNet setting. Then we will provide the subnet ID. Now let's configure the NSG setting. So it's creating a new security group. So next is the public IP, which will be a dynamic public IP here. Allocation method is dynamic. So next one is the Azure network interface, which will be associated with that public IP and NSG. Now I'm giving the admin username. In the admin guide, you will see it as a student. I'm just choosing my account. So it's up to your choice that what exactly you want to set it up. If you want to provide the password in early stage, then you can provide it like that. Else you can have the option that where you can keep this option secret also. So I'm just following that method where I can provide it into the clear text. So this is the operating system which will be installing. The offer name is Windows Server, and SQ is Windows Server 2016 Data Center Edition. And OS disk type will be using so now let's start configuration of the VM. So we have all set all the variables, and we will be using all these variables during the process of the creation. So this one is the name of the VM. My first VM is VM0. This is the second VM, which will be VM1. So I'm just boot diagnostic. I'm just disabling this. I don't need to enable it right now. And then the final command, which is creation of the VM, is this new agent VM - resource group and location. So here the VM creation process has started. So if you go this is the VM which I had created from the console. So if you go to the resource, you will see one VM as of now, which has this public IP, and with the help of that I can connect. Here you go. As of now you're seeing one, and next VM is it's creating, and then you will be able to see agent 1000301-VM1. So let's wait for some time, and then we will come back again. So I'm pausing the recording for now. So it will take around 5 to 6 minutes. The creation is in process, so we can't take the control of it right now. Let's move to the task 3. According to the Microsoft guide, we are not supposed to wait till the time. So let's go ahead with task 3. For that, we need to go here, deploy custom template. We will choose the template, existing one. So load the file, which is this one. Save. So these are all the settings which will come up. And if you want to provide the parameters which is provided by Microsoft, so you can choose it here, and then you can load file, and this is the parameter file. Just open it. So this is the username and this is the password, so I'm giving it by myself. So everywhere I'm just using this username and password in all my labs, so I just want to have the same setup. So all those same details have been configured here. So this will be a Ubuntu server which will be configured on this network, same subnet which I have already configured earlier. And then now we'll go to agree and purchase. Oh, sorry, resource group is not created, so I have to select one resource group as well. So for this job we have to create a new resource group. I'm giving it this name. So it will again create it in East US and click purchase. So the deployment has started and it will take some time to finish it off. So let's wait for the exercise 1 to complete, and then after that we'll start the exercise 2. So here you can see NIC 1, NIC 0, NIC 1, 2 IPs. So 2 virtual machines will be created, 2 Linux virtual machines will be created. And here my first VM also got created via PowerShell. So we can go ahead and check it out. So if you go to the resource group, go to this 301, and here you can see 2 virtual machines. One is VM1 here and VM0. So go there directly, you will see 2 virtual machines, 0, 1. So these are all Windows machines, and this one is creating as of now in process, so which is going ahead. So now let's take a control of this. So this is the IP, private IP, and this is the public IP, and let's just check that we are able to access the server or not. So here I'm connecting to the VM01. And I'm successfully logged in into the VM. It will take some time to initialize. Okay, we are in, and if you go to IP config, you can see this is the IP which has been allocated to this particular VM. So let's wait for this one. And here you can check the availability set. One availability set has been created. This one is for the Windows VMs and this one is for the Linux VMs. So there are 2 virtual machines, one is running into this and 2 virtual machines is running into this. So now the deployment is complete here. Let's go to the virtual machines. VM0. So this is Linux. So let's connect to this machine via PuTTY. Click on Start, PuTTY. Type the IP address, port number 22. Okay, it is not connecting. Maybe there is some rule which is not allowing me to connect to that particular server. Yeah, here the port 22 is not allowed. So let me just add it from any location, port number 22. So let's try again. So I allowed the port number 22 here. Now let's go ahead again. Once you allow that and wait for around 1 to 2 minutes, because it takes sometimes it takes to propagate the changes. So just type the public IP of that one, 52.170, and click on open. So here I am able to connect, yes, and then type the login ID and password. So here I am able to log in, and I can see the IP address is 10.103.0.6. So this is how the lesson 2 is also complete. And now let's move to the task number 2. So in the task number 2, we will be doing static and private IP addresses for the Azure VMs. Then we will be connecting to Azure VMs via public IP address, connect to Azure VMs Linux via the private IP address. So let's go to the virtual machine 0 and then go to the networking section, and in the networking section so click on network interface here, then you will go to IP configurations and click on the IP config 1. This one is right now it is dynamic, so click here, then you will get the option to static, so you just change it to static. So now this IP would be fixed for that particular VM, so click on save. So this is how you can make it a static IP. So now let's repeat the same task for a virtual machine. This is the Linux 302-VM0. Click on that, go to networking, click on the network, go to IP configuration, click on IP config and make it static. And set the IP to 10.103.100. So my Linux VM has 100 IP address. So it will take some time. The task 2 is saying connect to an Azure virtual machine, Azure VM running Windows Server 2016 data center via the public IP addresses. So that has been already completed, so I am able to connect here. This is my VM which is 01. So you can see here AZ1000301 VM0. Here I have connected through the public IP address. So now let's try to connect to that Linux VM. nslookup space AZ1000302-VM0. So here you are getting the IP address 10.103.0.100. So let's download a tool called Putty here. So let's download that tool. For that I have to first disable the enhanced security of Internet Explorer. Open the Internet Explorer. So download the Putty 64-bit. run this tool. It will install in your local system. Next, install and finish. Now launch the tool. Put it here, and I'm using the private IP 10.103.0.100. Click on open. It's connecting. So I'm using my credential which I have set. So I'm able to connect here to VM01. All right, it got the new updated IP that 0.100. So now we are moving to the exercise number 3. In exercise 3, we will deploy and configure Azure VM skill set. So in this one, there are 3 subtasks. One is identify an available DNS name for an Azure VM skill set environment. Then deploy an Azure VM skill set, and third is install IIS on a skill set VM by using DSC extension. So first of all, let's identify the resource group with the help of this first task. Okay, and if you put it this way, so this is my resource group which is in East US, and then I need to run a command test DNS availability. So this command will basically check that whatever name I am using, so I'm using here Bari VMS. So this name can be used will be used later on when I will define the DNS for VM skill set. So this command will basically check that I will be able to use this name or not. So just run this command. So it came up with true. It means I can use this label. So now let's move ahead and go to create a resource. Click here and find virtual machine scale set. Yeah. Click on create. So I will give the name like this, choosing Windows Server 2003. Resource group, I will be creating a new one. So this is the name of the resource group 303, and location is, I have mostly deployed in East US, so I'm just choosing that. So availability zone, I am not deploying it any availability zone. Username, I'm just choosing my custom username. Then password. So how many instance count that you want to create initially? So instance count should be minimum 1. And then here I will choose DS2v2. So let's go ahead. DS2v2, select. No, used manage disk. Yes. Auto scale is disabled. Choose load balancer here. Public IP name. So the name of the public IP will be this. Yeah, the name which I had used earlier, so this one will be I will be choosing this one, Bari VMS. So Bari VMS. This one must be, this will be my DNS name for this particular infrastructure. So I will be choosing this virtual network, or I can create a new one. So let's create a new, and I'll put a new name here called this 303, and my subnet would be different from this one. I'll be using this subnet 10.203.0.0. So subnet 0 would be 10.203.0.0. 203.0.0/24. Click on OK. Public IP address per instance, I don't need to have the public IP, so I will just click on off. Accelerated networking, network security group should be basic. Select inbound ports should be HTTP. I don't want to enable the boot diagnostic and no any cloud in it. So click on create. So the deployment has started. It will take some time to create that. And once it is created, then you will be able to find it into the virtual machine scale set. So you will be able to see it, all of them here. So let's wait for them to create until the time I'm pausing the recording. So here my deployment has succeeded. So if you go to resources, now I am into the, if you go there in the instances, you will see one instance is running as of now. As I had allowed port 80 access, but if I try to access it, it won't work. Why? Because I have simply installed the operating system, but I have not configured the installation of IIS. So let's install the IIS without going into the system. So let's go ahead. It will not work, definitely. So let's go to the tab here, go to extensions here, click on add, then go here, PowerShell desired state configuration. Click on create, and here I will define that path. This one is the zip file where I have all my configurations. Click on open, and here I have to give the module qualified name of the configuration, which is followed like this. There is only one backslash, so leave it blank. No any PSD file. Data collection should be disabled. Version is 2.76, and auto upgrade my new version is yes. So rest of the, you have to keep it this blank, this one field also blank. So that's it. So click on OK. So the installation process has started. So it's successfully installed, but it would take some time because at the back end it is basically running that command to install Windows feature, and it's not that fast. So you have to wait for some time. So if you go to the scale set and check that extensions, it has been installed here. So now let's go to the instance, and here it is not the latest model. So what exactly you need to do? You need to upgrade it. So select that model and then upgrade it. Click on yes. So it will take some time. Let's wait for that to complete. So here it is successfully upgraded. So let's go there and go to the instance. Now let's collect the public IP of this particular scale set and try to browse that particular IP. Here you go. So my IS is now showing me without any problem. So this is the lab of how you can implement the VM scale set and how you can install the desired state configuration into the VM scale set. So this is all in the second lab, and now we will be going to remove the entire infrastructure which we have created so far. So here you see there are three resource groups which we have created: 301, 302, 303 for each of the tasks: task 1, task 2, task 3. So if you go there, you will see a lot of resources here, different kind of things, and I will delete all of them through a normal command. So how would I do that? So there is a very simple command which has been given in the guide in the PowerShell. You just need to reconnect, to go to bash. I will be using the bash command. So this command will basically list all the resource group which is starting with AZ1000. So all these three resource groups shouldn't come into the list. So here we go. And now I will be using the next command to remove all of them. Click on copy and then paste it and then enter. So it will take some time because there are so many resources, 4 virtual machines and 1 VM scale set. So you have to wait till the command is successfully executed and everything is blank here. So my command is complete. So the deletion job has started at the backend, and after few minutes you will see all of these three resource groups will disappear and everything will be back to normal. So this lab is also complete.